I hate my job, but they give me stories to talk about, so fuck it. So I had to work in returns at work, which sucked because I hate returns. I hate dealing with the customers more than I probably hate dealing with customers who are buying things. Why? Because for some reason, customers love to bullshit you into returning items that are broken or aren't working months and maybe even years after the fact. I had a woman try to return some broken headphones that she got 6 months ago because they didn't work anymore. And the return policy for our store is only 30 days. What the fuck? I don't feel sorry for any of these assholes because they all got the same three excuses. I couldn't find my receipt. I couldn't get around to returning it because I live far away. I didn't know the return policy was 30 days. Bitch, if you couldn't find your receipt after 2 months, then give the fuck up. You're not getting your money back. This ain't Walmart. Our return policy isn't forever. If you live far away, then stay far away with your broken shit. We're not interested in taking it off your hands anymore with your lying ass. And wow, you didn't know the return policy was 30 days? That's something considering every other electronic store's return policy is 12 to 15. So I would really think that you'd remember that this specific store gives you double that. Not only that, it's every associate's job to tell you that our return policy is 30 days. So yeah, bitch, I don't believe you. Either way, when working in returns, I have to listen to these bullshit excuses for hours on end. For that specific day, it was only 2 hours. And of course, because I work under incompetent people, they allow these customers to get store credit for their broken shit. Also, they can basically buy new products. I mean, I get that you want to keep your customers around, but goddamn, you're giving them back their own money. So they could just buy more of our inventory. How the fuck do you profit off of that as a business? Either way, with all confusion aside, I continued to help these people for about 1 more hour because I was about to leave anyway and it was almost time for my lunch. So yeah, but being that I couldn't leave the returns area until someone took my place, I waited until someone assured me that I could actually leave. And at that time, a tall orc looking ass dude walked up with a receiver with cat hair all over him and his fucking item and just dropped it on the counter right in front of me. See, I've worked in retail for a while, unfortunately, and that's one of 3 things that I hate that customers do. When they set down shit abruptly and talk to me in a tone that's saying, "Get to work, lil bitch." When they toss their items or credit cards at me like they're a goddamn card dealer at a casino. And when they snatch shit from my hand. Like, bitch, you ain't shit, and I'll prove that to you when I show you my taijutsu outside. Anyway, this guy sets down his item, and rather than immediately assist him, I walkie for someone to replace me, cause again, my lunch is approaching. I could tell by the stupid look on the man's face, his weird smell, and the cat hair that was covering him and his item, that he was gonna be a weird one, and thus, a problem for me. But being that my store has cameras, I didn't know how long my replacement was going to take, so I pretended to help him by looking over his item. Again, there was cat hair everywhere, which I didn't fucking get, cause what the fuck was your cat or cats doing? Like, were they laying on this? Like, what the hell? And why did you think returning your item with a blanket of cat hair was going to be okay? Would you buy an item with cat hair all over it? No. So why return a fucking item like that? I don't get it. I don't understand people sometimes. Either way, I asked the guy what his problem was with the item and why he was returning it. He later tells me it doesn't work, which is very specific and leads me to believe him immediately. Then he goes ahead and explains his entire life story as to how he had already bought the same item before and it didn't work, but he wanted to return the one he had, also he could get another one. And as he explained that, he went on to complain about how shitty the store was and how shitty the products were and how they were cheap and they'd break easy and how all the stuff he was buying were from a durable brand and how whatever. Meanwhile, I'm thinking, bitch, if the first 2 you bought from here didn't work, why do you keep buying them, especially from here? Not only that, but you're a man and an adult. You should understand how business and product producing companies work, especially for electronics. Why would companies create products that are perfectly durable? Sure, it would make the common consumer's lives easier, but it wouldn't generate a lot of profit. If the last item you got lasted you 7 years, that's 7 years of fucking product profit that the company missed out on from you and other customers who got that item from them. That's why they build breakable shit. They want you to keep buying it, you dumb fuck. Anyway, as this guy was rambling on, I asked him if he was interested in another brand of whatever the fuck he had, because obviously it wasn't working out for him for the past week. He was running back and forth for the store to exchange it. He wasn't interested, and I wasn't interested any longer in helping him, but unfortunately, because of job reasons, I still had to help him. And of course, once I scanned his receipt, he was over the 30-day return policy, so we couldn't accept the item. The moment I informed him of that, his only excuse was, "Well, the woman on the phone told me I could return the item so long as I brought it in. She even said that she'd have a replacement waiting for me." To which I responded with, "Did you tell her your item was past the return date?" In response, he gave me the dumbest fucking look you could ever imagine a grown-ass man with a orc pig face ever muster. I swear, an awkward cat hair fell from his head as he stared at me in silence after that statement. It made me laugh so hard on the inside because it's like, wow, you entitled, pompous, weird little fuck. You think you're so elite returning your broken item that you waited longer than a month to return with no warranty, and you came ready for an argument, slamming your item down and carrying a bitch face with a bitch tone as if you were entitled to a new product, ready to explain that some random woman on the phone told you how to exchange your item and that you'd have one ready, but you thought you were talking to a dumb bitch. A dumb bitch who wasn't paying attention to every little word that you were saying and wasn't going to ask you if you informed anyone that your item was past the motherfucking return date. Bruh, if you don't fuck off and play with your 47 cats and counting at home, please. Anyway, after being exposed, this guy finds it necessary to now inform me that he wasn't aware that he was past the return policy, even though initially he was quick to explain that some random woman told him to bring his item in. Bitch, if you're gonna lie, come ready with excuses, cause this off the dome freestyle shit ain't working for you, nor is it believable. Either way, it was at that time the store manager walked up. I explained the situation to him, basically told him to handle that because I had lunch, and I left. But it wasn't when I left that I walked by the guy and noticed that he had the most fucked up feet imaginable. Not only were his toenails crusty as fuck, but he had some long ass weirdly jointed toes. Like, they looked like they hated each other so much that they had to spread out and give each other time apart. Not only that, but they were so long they were reaching over dude's flip-flops, as if they were trying to pull themselves from the joints of his foot and escape. It was crazy. I get that some men don't like to groom themselves and this was just a weird cat guy, but damn, his feet were fucked up. Like, so fucked up that that's probably the reason he had no wife or girlfriend, just 47 cats and counting. No joke. Like, I'm completely serious. And you can say, well, it might be a medical thing. Maybe he has fungus. Maybe he, no. How about maybe he just doesn't like to take care of his feet or himself, and he's just a dirty fucking weirdo. How about that? Anyway, after my lunch, I went to Carl's Jr., by the way, I came back and saw the guy yelling about how he apparently couldn't get the item he wanted and wasn't going to come back to the store, and the store's products were bad and blah, blah, blah. The only thing I cared about was the fact that he said that he was never coming back, and true to his word, I hadn't seen him again, which is a good thing. I wish more customers would say that and obligate themselves to do that. Still, I find it funny when they say stuff like that. "I'm not coming back to your store ever again." They say that as if they think that if they suddenly disappear, that store is just gonna crash and it's not gonna survive without that one person's business, and every fucking store chain across the country, it's gonna fail because that one person's business was just so important. LMFAO, who the fuck do you think you are? You're not Jesus. You're not God. You're a weird cat guy who wants a radio receiver. Get the fuck out.